Watch Transit TV right now.
Keep watching Transit TV.
He needs more minutes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes is no longer enough for this young man. Saka has played a lot of games for Arsenal and needs some rest. The goals that Saka gives to Arsenal, only he can bring. The corner kicks that Saka plays, he can bring. And so the earlier and all the Transit TV, Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0 at the Emirates. We just watched Arsenal decimate Nottingham Forest, a team that has given so many big teams a run for their money this season at the Emirates. And it looked very easy for Arsenal from the beginning up until the end. Every ingredient we have seen what Arteta has cooked for Arsenal in the last 5 years, a team that has given Manchester City a run for their money for the past 2 seasons. We saw every ingredient that we have seen in this team the last 2 seasons, that they have really been in contention for the EPL title. We saw it today. The only ingredient that was not there was Arsenal did not score any goals today from set piece, from fluidity, movement, camping opponent in their own half, scoring goals, all kinds of goals from different players. We saw that today. Sniffing off possession and chances from opponents. We saw all of that today. And at some point, I think the camera only captured David Raya twice in the first half. And that is exactly what Arteta has done for this Arsenal team the last 2 seasons, which has really, fans have rarely seen this season so far. Though some people may argue that Arsenal has had a very strong start to the season in terms of fixtures, looking at it from Arsenal perspective. But again, if you are a team that wants to win the EPL title, playing and trying to win it off a team like Manchester City and Liverpool as well, you have to deal with anything you see in front of you in terms of fixtures. But Arsenal has failed to do that, though there is also another dimension of injuries, non-availability of players because of injuries and suspension. So it's really been a very rough patch for Arsenal into this season. But today we saw everything that we have seen in this Arsenal that has made a lot of people make them favourite to win the league this season. We saw it today in that game, and we're going to delve into that. 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. First, I start with Odegaard. Odegaard, for me, today, though I've always known, but today it shows that he is the most important player in the Arsenal ranks. And there are so many reasons for this. This is a player that when he's on the ball, when he's on the pitch, when he is playing, he makes almost every Arsenal player better. Be it the defenders, he is an outlet for them to play out when they have possession. The wingers is his companion for them, especially Saka, when they have the ball, and opening for them to channel for them as well to get rid of the ball when they need to. And he also drops the passes for them exactly with the velocity, the pace, and exactly the direction and where they want it. And Saka, you could see straight off from the start in this game, was a better player because Odegaard was playing from the partnership we have seen both of them forming in this Arsenal team. We saw it today flourish. And Saka probably would have scored more than 2 goals today if he was more efficient in front of goal and made decisions. Sometimes he rushed decisions, sometimes he was too slow in deciding what to do. Odegaard today showed the quality, what Real Madrid is missing, why this Arsenal team has struggled since he was absent. I mean, his touch on the ball, look at the assist for Saka. Look at the slickness of that touch and the pace, the way he was able to measure the velocity for that ball and left it exactly how Saka will feed on it. And the spaces he was picking up all around the pitch, it was difficult for Nottingham Forest. And they had to push up to attack Arsenal or to pick him up. And he made it very easy for his teammates, the midfielders, Merino and all those other people, to be able to pick out passes and open up spaces. Jorginho with his pace, and you know that the Nottingham Forest has pace going forward. Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, and people like Anna and Awuni on the pitch. Jorginho was only exposed once, and this is because players like Odegaard we are made it difficult for Nottingham Forest to play the kind of football we have seen them play this season. Don't forget that this Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool and was a turn in the flesh for teams like Chelsea and the Manchester City. So yeah, Odegaard for me is the most important player in this Arsenal team. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Odegaard is more important than Saka? Saka got his goal, very beautiful goal for that matter, but Odegaard, no. Odegaard, I don't know how to, value this young man. If there is anything, if there is nothing you remember Edu for and Arteta for doing for this Arsenal team is making sure that Odegaard joined Arsenal for Real Madrid. The second talking point is William Timber. I'm going to talk about Timber today. Most of the time headlines go to Saka. He gets the goal, he gets the assist. He goes to Odegaard and people like Saliba and Gabriel. But I believe that William Timber is the most underrated player in the Arsenal ranks. He played for the right back today. And this man, you would think he has been in that position with Saka for ages. His level of understanding of football in general and his role in any position Arteta plays him for is an asset that every team will want to have. He was all over the place. Open up channels for Saka to run into, to drag attention from defender, from Merino. Merino today, the Nottingham Forest Merino looked like a madman. He didn't know who to follow, to go to with Timber. The only thing that was left in Timber's performance today was just not scoring a goal. I mean, that young man is very strong in duels. He can't just beat him as a defender. Going forward, he plays like a midfielder. Then sometimes you find him playing like a winger. I'm talking about in terms of technical ability and on the ball. And the amount of focus and commitment that he shows in games. And by the way, I think his goal was a goal. I don't understand what those VAR lines were today. I believe that Merino was not offside from what I saw. But I mean, the goal was ruled off. And I don't. But during Timber, I'm telling you, if you're an Arsenal fan, if you're an EPL fan, put an eye on this guy. International plays football. This guy plays from the right, left back, left full back. You think that's his natural position. If you find him in the middle, he's comfortable. On the right back today, I don't know if he stays fit, I don't think Arsenal will miss Ben White, because what I saw from Jordan Timber today, I believe he's the most underrated player in that Arsenal lineup, in the Arsenal team, and if possible in EPL. Arsenal has got themselves a very, very and this is the thing. A lot of people, yes, Arteta needs to win a trophy. Don't get me wrong, he has to win a trophy. But what he has done already, assembling and building this team the way he has built them, if you are objective, banter aside, I think getting this group of players for Arsenal alone, for me, is a huge achievement for Arteta and Edu for this team. And all that is required now is for them to go ahead and win a trophy. The third thing that I learned today, Mikel Merino, after all, is going to be a very solid addition to Arsenal. The level of technical ability of Mikel Merino in tight spaces is underrated. With Odegaard on the other side and Merino space, teams are in trouble. And his ability to arrive in the box, to add numbers to the box, is something that has to be looked at. This guy makes Arsenal better. He makes Arsenal better. And he also makes it difficult for opponents to attack Arsenal because of his technical ability, his defensive prowess, and his eye for passes and ability to get away from tight spaces. Mikel Merino, I know in the past I said Arteta needs to bed him in. I never doubted his ability, but I felt that he wasn't ready to start games for Arsenal. And I think he's ready now. 3 weeks has passed since then. It looks like physically he's ready. Though there might still be some games he will struggle with. Teams that are very, very, very physical and tight. He probably would need some more time to adapt to those. But games like this, where opponents allow you space, I think we saw him last week, the last 2 weeks before the international break against Chelsea. He was mercurial, he was good. Today he continued on that. I think there's going to be a problem for Arteta when Declan Rice comes back. I know Arteta prefers to play Declan Rice sometime ahead of Partey, but what I saw from Partey today, both the goal and the calmness that he brought into that midfield when Jorginho was substituted, I don't think any right-thinking coach would bench Partey for anybody in that Arsenal 11. And the kind of work, the kind of attacking capability that Merino brings into this team, I also don't think that he should be benched for Declan Rice. So I think I need to worry about this one, and he has to worry about it and be objective with it and make sure Arsenal and the team is looked at as a priority than doing what he wants to do. Because Declan Rice, for me, is a very important player in this team as well. But right now, somebody between Partey, Declan Rice, and Merino, one of them has to, cannot start every game. So let's watch and see. And let me know what you think in the comment section. Between Partey, Declan Rice, Mikel Merino, and Odegaard, you just need 3 of these 4 players to start a game. Who would you drop, and how would you, play the 3 that will start in that midfield? If you ask me, for me, Partey in the 6, Odegaard on the right side, between Declan Rice and Mikel Merino, depending on who Arsenal is playing against, one of them should bench and one should start. This for me how Arsenal should be playing every game, and that takes us to the 15. Nathan Nwaneri. I've said this for weeks now. Nwaneri is ready to play for Arsenal. He needs more minutes. 10 minutes, 15 minutes is no longer enough for this young man. Saka has played a lot of games for Arsenal and needs some rest. The goals that Saka gives to Arsenal, Nwaneri can bring. The corner kicks that Saka plays, he can bring. And so the earlier, and Odegaard, Arsenal has not really had a replacement for Odegaard. Nwaneri looks ready to step into those shoes. Odegaard's minutes too can also be shared. So between Saka and Odegaard, Nwaneri has more time to play. So Arteta needs to give Nwaneri more than 10-15 minutes. He needs some 30 minutes, 25 minutes, even start some games. Some games you can rest Saka, you can rest Odegaard and start Nwaneri. I guarantee you that you will get one thing that this boy had that the Arsenal team doesn't have. What he brings, 2 things that Nwaneri brings to this team: ability to run on defenders, on players with the ball, to dribble on the go, and shooting from outside the box. Is no longer, nobody can say he's a fluke. He has done this 3 times this season already for Arsenal, twice for the national team. So this is a signature for Nwaneri that everybody can agree with me right now. So, and these are the things that this Arsenal team lacks. We don't have players who run, dribblers who run on players, on defenders. He has the ability and he has eye for goal. Of course, pass. You can get an eye for pass from other players like Odegaard and other players. But him, before Nwaneri came in today, Odegaard had at least 3 or 4 chances to take a shot from outside the box, even inside the box, and he died on it, and the chances went begging. Saka as well had the same. But Nwaneri, the first sight he had on goal, he didn't even touch the ball. Boom, he was on the back of the net. So I believe Nwaneri deserves more time in this Arsenal team than Arteta has been giving him. And the last of it, or the 15 we learned, is that Arsenal needs a striker. Otherwise, Kai Havertz is Arsenal's first choice striker. Gabriel Jesus played 90 minutes today, had no shot on target, had no sight on goal, was not even available in the 18-yard box to take any chances. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is a striker. I don't think he's a striker. He's a very, very good footballer, technically gifted, but he's not a striker. Arsenal needs to either sign a striker, or Kai Havertz should no longer be played elsewhere than to start games for Arsenal as a striker. If Arsenal has a striker, or Kai Havertz can improve or continue the way he has been playing when he plays in that position, I think Arsenal will still have a chance this season. So for me, Arsenal needs a striker. Gabriel Jesus is not one. Kai Havertz has been doing well in that position if he is the choice, let him be the choice. I don't think Jesus is the striker. And the question now is, and I'll ask you, is Arsenal back, or did the Forest just make it easy for Arsenal today? And the gang will be back on Monday to review most of the big games this season. I'll see you again next time. Ciao. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I'll see you again. Ciao.